Hey up, pussycat. Well, yes, it's not set on fire yet. This is just a brief test ride. I was going to venture out into the hills, but wouldn't be the wisest thing to do after just fitting a new radiator. Look at the time, 3:45. The reason it's so late, I've been faffing about, as usual. Replacing the cob lights on the front radiator grill, and then the white ones on the front, which a bit disappointed with. Now they're lit up, they look dim and crap. And the ones on the back, they were cob light red ones, and they were a bit feeble as well, so I swapped them for what I had in before. But they're just cheap, nasty things, aren't you? $1.95 a pair, they're not going to be top quality. And the most common reason for them failing is the bloody heads get pulled off. It's like the size of a 10 pence with a 10mm thread underneath, and they're not welded on, they're just sort of stuck on, I think. And that seal fails and it pulls the bloody wires out. And I said before, if they made them a bit better on a thread, if it were threading into the head, it'd be a lot stronger. I wouldn't mind paying a bit more for them if they're better quality, because they are nice and bright. I've always said that motorbike lights are feeble, aren't they? Although now I've got the night breaker bulb, Osram night breaker bulb in the front. It's a lot better than the standard one. I'll pull over into this lay-by to see how things are. I drain the overflow tank. In the manual it says reserve tank for coolant in the manual, and yet it just says expansion tank in other reference books. So is it a reserve? If your coolant is leaking, is that why my engine didn't overheat? Was it taking it from reserve? It hardly seemed to make any difference, all them drips all week. Anyway, sorted now. I don't know why I bother with that thermometer. Can't be 81 degrees. I had a fish tank one that Tony Kitchen advised me to get, so I got it. Stuck it up there on the dashboard, but of course because all the engine heat sort of rises up, you didn't get an accurate reading. It was in the hundreds. Oh, no signs when you're burning, that's a good sign. I know I should be at the seaside, but like I said, I was doing the lights till 3:20, then I had a shower. I have one every week, whether I need one or not. Then I went for a haircut, because the barber's is open till 3. Because I started to look a bit like Guy Martin. Talking of which, I actually sound like Guy Martin. If you speed me up on the speed setting by 1, is it 1.5? Well, whatever. I sound like Guy Martin. Right, so anyway, there's the cob lights. Maybe it's a good thing they're a bit dim. Someone said they're too dazzling, and of course they're angled up. And the new cob lights are in little aluminium shrouds this time. You see, left and right of the radiator. Rust on my crash bar, I'll touch them up with me black hammerite. All the other little jobs are going to be done when I'm off for 2 weeks in June. Should I send for another seat cover? It's looking horrible. Functional but horrible. Should I bother what things look like? And they're the new smaller red ones. And I've fitted 2 more reflectors at the bottom. I won't be able to see, will I? I should have brought a little piece of string. Can you see? Nice and bright. So far so good. No sign of any blowing from them header pipes. What a mess. Oh, it's going down. It's more realistic. High 70s. Yeah, local radio said the motorways and even the minor roads were chocker heading to the coast. It's always the same story. And what do you do when you get there? Get fish and chips. Park your bike up, eat your fish and chips. And what? I mean, if everyone's headed for the coast, then theoretically the road should be a lot quieter around this area. I thought of just going to Wally and back just as a test ride, but if everything's running alright, we know temperature creeping up. Velcro stock. Yeah, let's get in first gear, twerp. So there we are, radiator fitted, new coolant, fan. That's what we're going to do, get it hot and then run the engine on tick over till the fan kicks in, just to make sure them brackets are holding up. I'll do that when I get home. I'm glad that clicking's gone. Brakes biting alright. I'll also do the front pads in June when I'm on holiday. I'm in the Lake District, 5 minutes from home. And if that's private land with being a reservoir, I think families would be walking aside of that. There is a public footpath we used to walk this way to Wally when we were little. Nice walk in the fields. Although we're all smothered by hay fever, we'll be taking the tablets then going for a walk. I don't seem to be too bad these days. I always seem to have a cough, but they say you grow out of it. I never had injections, they're meant to work, aren't they? Boost your immune system, but if I do get sniffy, I get them cheap tablets, 14 antihistamines for £1, Gelform, that cheapo drug manufacturer. They're good because you've got the option of ones that make you dopey and sleepy, and from on 6 till 2 I take them. So have a good night's sleep. Last night went to bed at bloody past 1 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up 6:30. I don't know why. It's just shift work, it just messes all your sleep patterns up. Good test for the back brake pads to bed the disc in. Just applying the back brake. You see this sign, Hollowhead Lane. Look at this. It's just a monumental task to repair all the potholes, which is why they don't seem to be bothering at all. When I get home, I'll check the level of the reserve coolant tank, and maybe I should lift the tank up and take the cap off, you know, the radiator cap off, and see if that's gone down, because I ran it for 2 minutes last night just to get the air pockets out, and it did go down a couple of inches. Wow, hot pants. It's like they were sprayed on. I'll go this way. Came this way with Paul Taylor at Country Ride when I was doing that painting job the other week. Or was it last week? It seems ages ago. And I said, I think I've only been down there once before. It's a nice scenic little leafy lane. Church view. I think it's called Lovely Lane or something at the bottom. Lovely Lane. I was going to go over Jeffrey Hill, that's a nice view, but it is slightly hazy. And it's not too far off Chipping Steam, where I went last year in the thunderstorm. I think that's the 3rd week in May. So we're going via Jeffrey Hill then. Yes, Jeffrey Hill! Easy bee! Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone and make believe I love you one more time. Dee-dee-dee, lights down low. Dee-dee-dee, dee-dee-dee. Should I? Well, why not? No, I'm just testing it because I wired the cob lights up to that circuit again. Nice, isn't it? When I went for my haircut in my town, there's a skate park and a little five-a-side football pitch, but it's never used. Don't kids play out anymore? Don't seem to. Was it it? Yeah, Lovely Hole Lane, that's right. Wasn't that lovely, was it? Wasn't that bleeding lovely? No smoke. No paint flaking off. Not really got a chance to get warm yet. 78 degrees. What a contrast from a month ago. Grey skies and frost and freezing cold. So, Suzuki GSX 1400 in blue. Come back, swap backs! Nice belly pan as well, cat's eyes. Leaning over and I hit a cat's eye and the back wheel went. Wonder where they've been. Kirby Lonsdale Settle. It just suit me that a GSX 1400, but it's like I said, it'll have to be a summer bike and look after it because they don't stand up to winters, do they? Not many bikes do, but some handle it better. But them Suzuki's just corrode to hell. I saw a blue one in Dixon's bike shop last year. It seemed to have bent forks. They still wanted over £4 for it. So this is A59, Liverpool to York. Liverpool behind me. This is all the way to York via Harrogate. Now where can I stop in Whalley? I think I should stop at the lake again and see if anything else is smouldering or if anything else has gone wrong. I had a real struggle. The reason it took me so long with the lights, them l.e.d eagle eyes, they're such bloody fragile things, the wires. You don't need a wire strip, you can just grip it with your thumbnail, pull it, and the sleeve's off, and it must be like a human hair. A little cluster of about 6 core, really thin wire. And I've used them in bloody crimps. I crimped it, snapped, crimped another, snapped. So I twisted the wires together and used a little loop crimp, snipped the loop off, turned it upside down so I could see where the little wires were protruding, and then crimped it without nipping the other half. You know, so it just nipped it up rather than, well, it didn't snap anyway, it worked, I think. But like I said, you can't complain for $1.95 a pair. Funny this, isn't it? From my hometown, you get to Clitheroe, Whalley and Clitheroe in minutes, and yet this way it seems to be about 8 bloody miles. It's like a big L shape. Oh, in 6 gear. That's what I need, a digital gear indicator to go there on top of that light. It'd have to be a proper wire one. I wouldn't get the cheap magnet one, $14.99, because they're meant to be inaccurate. You glue a magnet to your gear lever and it goes past another magnet and switches the little box. Which is why it's not meant to be accurate. So look at this road now, this must be a 4-mile stretch. What's that mile on me to Clitheroe? 6 mile. Yeah, early riders don't nod. 4 o'clock. Hey Albert, what are you doing? I'm filtering, man. Lovely day, nice and cool, that breeze. I was going to retire to the pub again, but yeah, I've not been for ages. No, I was going to go down to l.e.d, get some cheap cat food, go in the pub, have a couple of pints. But last time, because my stomach was empty and I wasn't used to drinking, yeah, I felt slightly pissed and I fell asleep in the backyard. That was when I was fitting my slash cups. Put your sweet lips a little closer to the phone, like I did a picture. Temperature's hardly moved. Yeah, a lot easier than I thought, that job. Like I said, I was going to leave it to the bike shop, but imagine what would they have charged and how would they have handled the dodgy brackets on the fan. Told me I needed a new one. Just the 3 brackets on a ring are £92, and then the motor's £390, although David Silver had one for £75. Well, there's nothing wrong with the motor, but I imagine getting the motor off that frame would be hard work. And then the actual fan is £55, but that's as new. So all in all, saved myself a lot of money. So a little detour at the top of my town has meant quite a long journey. I know it's 2 lanes, yeah, but you never know if they're going to veer into your lane. It's always wise to slow down. Is my name Leah? Ooh. Yes, stopping by that lake just to make sure everything's still working. You notice there's never any sign of activity. You're not actually doing anything either. No, as in workman working type of thing. Oh, my knees. We're nearly not backyard floor for ages. It's not done my knees any good. Right, any smoking? Any wires rubbing? Indicators? Yeah, I'm worried about nipping that wire, but oh, it doesn't get hot. I thought the heat might transfer to that bracket, but it doesn't. That's fine. Cob light still working. Good. Brake lights, that's what I was worried about with them dodgy little hairline wires. Oh, good. I can smell warm paint from the radiator. There's a little ding there. It said taken from a bike that had done 10,500 miles, a red one. No, that one that was taken to bits at the breakers. Adventures with Woody said about price of new parts, and I said, well, in Hull, Spurs Unlimited, that's where I got the silencers from last year. Good, tyres are now still working. Yeah, Spurs Unlimited, but they didn't have a radiator, unfortunately. So I've gone to Colchester for the radiator. 120 quid. They said, when I complained about the late delivery, they said they're going to refund the £4. So, see a little cob lights now, and a little block of 3. But like I said, the red ones, these were a lot paler than the filament type. The filament type have got 3 little dots in a triangle. If they are filaments, I mean for l.e.ds, a little macro dots, aren't they? And like I said, the red one, the red version of them, were crap, so I put them back in the box. Look at that, almost faded to silver. I contacted the shop on eBay, Furor something or other, car accessory shop, and they didn't reply. I said, that screen trim has faded almost to silver after just 2 or 3 weeks. Would you like me to send a photograph? And they didn't reply. They don't want to know, do they? But I'd already left a positive feedback because it looked nice when it was a nice deep blue. I do have another lens, in my man drawer. But what's the point, because that'll just fade as well. Obviously the manufacturers either aren't aware or don't care. We aren't aware without bleeding care. I could venture into the countryside. I missed l.e.d. That closes at 4. Everything seems fine. Temperature wasn't climbing. I'm running out of ideas where to go. I mean, now I'll have to go down here. Why is that wobbling? One piece of Velcro, that's not sufficient. Put it in the middle. I don't know why I got that. Why would you bother about temperature? Just to say it as a fact. It's 80 degrees today. I shall be in the backyard swigging some cheap cider, Frosty Jack or White Lightning. What's the other one? There's 3 in there. They said in Scotland they've bumped the price up of them. 3 litre bottles used to be like £3.50. 3 litres of powerful, strong cider that gets you rat-assed. get slightly squiffy for £3.50. And yeah, they put a bloody tax on it, so it said the Scotsmen who like the cheap cider are going across the border and stocking up on all cheap English bottles of cider. It's like that sugar tax. Anything the government can think of to bump bloody price on anything, they'll do it. Like that sugar tax, cobblers. Oh, lots of kids are obese, therefore we're instigating a sugar tax, so they won't buy as many sweeties. Yeah, have them all nibbling asparagus instead. Yeah. Come on, come on. So much for, like I keep saying, retiring. I was retired next to A59, loving them lodges. They might not necessarily be retirement lodges, they might just be fishing lodges. I was thinking the other day, what if we're for fishermen? Richmond Lodge and Park Homes. Might say online exactly what they are. Yeah, can you see my new brake lights? Oh, I think there's been a rally today in Yorkshire. Into the valley. I tried to get some people interested, but no one wants to know. I mean, rallies just glorified piss-ups, aren't they? See the back ends move out then, a bit of bit of movement on some gravel. Well, I think I've achieved what I was planning to do, a test ride to establish whether anything's going to go tits up tomorrow when I go for a proper ride out. What, Rivington? Actually tomorrow, being a Monday, that St Anne's bike meet will be on. I thought to go in there. I mean, I'm on 6 till 2, but I'll probably get home for 9 o'clock-ish. But is it worth going all that way just for yet another bike meet? It is a good one and nice choice of food establishments, but I'm getting a bit tired, to be honest, with just going places just to film. I'm actually losing that enjoyment aspect of bikes. Feeling exhausted, putting up with dafties in cars and even dafties on bikes. I thought I'd use my bike just for work and weekends, concentrate on tidying my house up. I missed my normal cleaning day yesterday and I've still not done it. Maybe I should do it tomorrow. Get the fella duster out, put my pinny on and do another hoovering session. Another I want to break free. Yeah, the reason I mentioned rallies, that lad's got a backpack on, has it? No, not enough room for a tent in there. I thought he'll have been to the big rally in Yorkshire. Or one of the big rallies. And the really big one is at Helmsley. Look at my old videos. I went back to ask if they did a Saturday ticket only and they said no, but in fact now they've started doing that. Arrive on a Saturday, you can stay overnight for £20. And it said there's about 25 bands on. Lots of cheap beer, but the full wallop, like I said, the full routine is to arrive on a Friday, put your tent up, and then on the Saturday a traditional mass ride out to Scarborough for fish and chips. But this time we went, there were a bloody traffic warden whinging, had to move them bikes off the pavement. Well, why? There are no pedestrians, we're having fish and chips. in this restaurant. No, you'll have to move like at Blackpool Airshaw last year. So you just like to be awkward. You're not causing any kind of obstruction, but because of Jobsworth, more than Jobsworth, you just like to be gits. So, you know, last time I went I think was 2003. And I thought it'd be nice to go again. It'd be a good opportunity for a meet-up of all the Lancashire and Yorkshire vloggers. Let's meet up at the rally. We'll meet up at Friday night in the beer tent. And then all join the en masse ride to Scarborough. When I went, they were digging all the bloody promenade up on the North Beach, round the headland, quieter area. And the headland's where the castle is. I went up to the castle to film. But I can't convince people to go, can't force them. Still have all my camping gear. And that's the reason why I put 12-volt sockets on all my bikes to run it into the tent. I have a twin tube fluorescent strip, 12-volt strip. To hang from the tent roof, you know, a little loop. Cyclist, have you got a helmet on? Have you got high vis? No. Oh, I've got a helmet on. Where's your high vis, Albert? Yes, so we're going home. This is just a test ride. Check the levels when I get home after it's cooled down. And check my food levels, I'm starving. I got some macaroni milk pudding at home and I'm going to make some chocolate pud, mix it with cheap cocoa powder from Morrison's and have cold chocolate rice, chocolate macaroni pudding. It's delicious. Oh yeah, golf club's just behind that garage. I see no kids playing football again. Rowdy band, is it full of dog turds? I think they sorted that out. It's like a marshy area with that sharp grass. Been there for years. Exhaust sounds good, that burble, unless it's working loose. Actually, I could have used that, instead of fighting around with that bloody Gorilla Glue, I could have used my little portion, super glue and baking powder to fix the exhaust in place. You know, the silicone was just for the initial stick on, and then to secure it I used Gorilla Glue. Nearly blocked the exhaust up with it because I was slightly pissed when I dolloped it in, and I need a little drop because it expands. Well, I'll come up here again. I don't think I've been in that park since I was about 8 years old. Apart from a visit to the War Memorial. They talk about my granddad when it was 100 years last year since Passchendaele. Great granddad, sorry. gravestones. This church dates from the 1200s, but all the old gravestones, I mean, they don't seem to last. You're lucky to see anything from the 1600s because they get weather beaten. I see there's some old slabs here. What date are them? 1844. Don't agree with that. Putting people's gravestones is a path for people to tread on. Yeah, the tower's from 1250, but I don't know if the church has had many alterations. Anything with a stone roof, you're talking 1700s, but as I said before, you don't get any kind of perspective of age with churches. I mean, they all look alike, don't they, to a degree. And that's why they're not of much interest to me. Historical houses are, but not churches. I know what you're thinking. Suffolk Andy! Yeah, another little check. Any leaks? No. Done all the pipes up correctly. I won't set the lights again. They're secure. Yeah, I thought that noise was a loose one, but it's just a burble. Like I said, it's a little echo chamber. I'm curious about the blue ones. Hepcat Harley said he can cut them down. I don't know what with. No, get one in blue, cut it down, and then stick it with more silicone. It'll look a lot cooler in blue, seeing as I've got a blue bug to get everything I can blue for this bike. So, as I said, 2 weeks off in June, new front tyre. I might get a new seat and take precautions about not having it clawed to pieces again by that stray cat. Precautions, as in whack the stray cat over the head. Yeah, that burble. It's alright, Albert, I've seen you. Gladys. So, sorry it's not been very interesting, but as I keep saying, it's always best to have a test ride if you've done sort of, not a major job, but it's quite involved, isn't it, changing a radiator. And there was a potential for disaster, which I'm pleased to say hasn't materialised. All is well for tomorrow's ride out. Just watch it'll pour down. Now then, food, pizza. Yeah, a bit late, but I'm sure she got the message.